Hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, which it might be because I've only just started recording videos. Welcome! And if you haven't seen my first video, which I will admit is a little long, go check it out on my channel, and I hope you enjoy it and come back for this video, or just stay and watch. So, since I have to start work back again tonight, my weekend off is gone. It is now Monday, December 15th for me, and I have to work tonight. So I got up early today, had some coffee, just enjoyed the morning, and now I've decided I want to read some before I do anything for the rest of the day. Not probably gonna do much, but maybe a few things around the house, clean my room up a little bit, normal stuff. And I wanted to read some for the day. I'll probably read more later today, but I wanted to get at least 30 minutes in on 3 books that I want to read for this month. I did go back and check out what my read for December is for my book club, and I realized that I had actually bought it and I forgot about it. So I'm going to be reading some of that. But if you didn't see my last video, I am wanting to read Murder at Holly House this month because it's like a murder mystery about them finding a guy that has been found in a chimney. Anyway, it's a Christmas time murder mystery set in Yorkshire in 1952. And so I read some of this yesterday and then I stopped because I had family visiting. And so I didn't read too much, and then I got distracted by other stuff and didn't pick it back up. So I'm wanting to read some of it today and get a little bit more into it. I did read chapter 1 and 2. So I'm ready to start chapter 3. So far it's interesting. Like, the wording and everything is kind of different since it's supposed to be set in Yorkshire. They say some slang and other words and I'm kind of like, huh? But then I'm like, I keep reading and I'm like, okay, I think I know what they mean. And if I don't, I'll just look it up. But so far, the first 2 chapters were interesting, and I'm excited to read more and find out what happens. Now, my other book that I want to start reading, it's one of the shorter books that I bought that was part of my book club, and I don't remember which month this was, but I want to read it. I want to get it done before the end of the year. And if you didn't see my video yesterday, it's part of my December TBR to get done. It's Dungeons and Drama, so I'm going to be reading some of that. Excited. And then my book club read for this month, December, which I didn't mention yesterday because I forgot I bought it, is Tiny Habits, The Small Changes That Change Everything. So it's I guess you could describe it as a self-help book. It's supposed to be about all the habits you have, how to change them, how to just different things about the habits you have and how you can change that if you want to. So I don't know if I would say I'm excited about it, but it sounds interesting. And so I'd like to read at least the first chapter. So there's an introduction, which is like 20 pages. And then there's chapter 1. Let me see. It goes until page 39. So I'd like to read the first at least 40 pages of this book and see what I think. I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be good, but not in the same way as reading my other 2 books will go. But I'm excited to see what happens. So we're going to be here, and let's see. Let's set my timer. we're going to set my timer for 30 minutes and I'm going to read each book for 30 minutes each. And then I think it'll be time for some breakfast because right now it's about 9 o'clock and I can feel that I'm starting to get a little hungry. So let's start reading and then we'll see what happens. So, my timer just went off for 30 minutes, but I only have 3 more pages left in this chapter, so I'm going to go on ahead and finish it. Okay. So, there. So now I finished, I read 3 chapters in that 30 minutes, and so now I'll be starting chapter 6 when I start up again. Actually, there are really some funny points and, things that the character says, but I'm actually liking it so far. It's kind of like easing into it. Like it's given some details. I can tell it's gonna be good. There's a few funny sentences and things that they say. Um, but I'm liking it so far. So I think this is gonna be good. And I'm excited to read more. So next, I think I'm gonna do some reading on Dungeons and Drama. And honestly, this looks like it's going to be pretty good. And since it's pretty short, I think I'll end up getting through it pretty easily. But yeah, I'm excited. So let's start reading. Okay. So, yes, you can tell I've taken my big sweater off. I was getting hot sitting here. Anyway, my 30 minutes for reading Dungeons and Drama is up. Although I think I only have, let's see, I'm on chapter 3 and I only have like 2.5 more pages to read before I'm at the end of the chapter. So again, I'm going to go on ahead, finish the chapter, and then I'll come back to you with an update. Okay. So I got to chapter 4 and it's actually not bad so far. I would say usually for me, if I don't really get into a book within like the first like 5 to 10 chapters, it's either really hard for me to get through it and it takes me a long time, or I just stop reading it. But I don't do that a lot because, especially books that I buy, I hate to like stop reading them and be like, no, it was so bad, I can't read this, blah. And like, I guess I could sell the book or give it to a free store or something, but I just don't like to do that. I'd rather try to read the book all the way through and then like never read it again if I don't want to. But anyway, getting to chapter 4, it's actually not bad. And I didn't realize that this was about high school students. I don't know. I guess I didn't. Okay, I didn't read the back. So I guess I wouldn't know if I didn't read the back. But seeing the front, I guess because it's a cartoon version of a cover, I didn't really think about them looking young or anything. I just thought maybe they were like both in their early 20s or something, like right out of college maybe or something, or in college, and that maybe she started working at some store and they met and it evolved from there. I mean, that's what I got from the cover, right? Um but now since I've read the first 3 chapters and I'm on chapter 4, I can now conclude that it is about high school juniors and she's having to work at her dad's game shop where this guy works and plays games because she drove her mom's car without permission and without having her license to a musical. Um, but so far, I'm liking it. It's cute, it's lighthearted, and you know what? After reading Murder at Holly House, yeah, after reading some of the chapters in Murder at Holly House, I can definitely tell that this is going to be a nice break from something that's a little more serious, mystery, murder, all that. I can tell this is going to be very lighthearted and fun, and I hope that I keep liking it as I read it. Um, but who knows how it go. I don't know where I put my bookmark, so I guess I'll just leave it faced open until I can find it. Okay, so my next book that I'm going to read for 30 minutes, Tiny Habits. I think this is definitely, well, I don't know. We'll just have to see once I get through it. And seeing as how I'm usually getting about 2 to 3 chapters in before my 30-minute timer goes off, honestly, I'll probably finish reading the introduction, and then I think that'll probably take up my whole 30 minutes. But that's okay. If I can at least get through the introduction, then that means, another time when I pick it up, maybe tomorrow to read, that I'll, you know, get through maybe a chapter a day if I read 30 minutes every day. We'll see. But if I only read 30 minutes every day, I don't know if I would be able to finish this book before the end of December. So, but we'll have to see. So let's get to it. Okay. So, hold on, let me pause my music. Okay. Okay. So, my timer just went off a few seconds ago, and I finished reading the last like 2 sentences on that page I was reading. Now, I'm not finished with the introduction because, like I said, the introduction is 20 pages. Yeah. And so, technically, I have 2 pages left in the introduction, which I am also going to finish. Um, but honestly, reading this introduction, I feel like I have been seen. Like, there are so many different things that I have wanted to do better and to have a habit for, but I guess I've just never created a habit, or I got out of doing it, or I never did it. Um, I don't know, it's just odd, but I feel like really seen after reading this introduction and having some things explained to me about behavior and willingness and motivation. And I always feel like I have no motivation or not enough motivation or like enough willpower. Like I feel like it's my fault that I can't start these new habits. And that was what this whole introduction was about, is about that it's not your fault. You just have these misconceptions that it's obviously your fault for not doing it or not doing it right, when it's not your fault. Hold on, let me go back and read this to you real quick because I underlined it. I highlighted it. Um, The disconnect between want and do has been blamed on a lot of things, but people blame it on themselves for the most part. They internalize the cultural message of it's your fault, you should exercise more, but you aren't doing it. Shame on you. I am here to say it isn't your fault, and creating positive change isn't as hard as you think. Like, And that was on the first page. Oh. But yeah, so honestly, this is great so far. And even though it's kind of like I don't want to say like an educational book, I think it's ruled as like self-help. Because it's about making changes and changing your habits and creating new habits. And so, but it really is, it's educational. I like it. I am really feeling like if I read this and really learn about what it's saying, that I can create new habits for myself, and that maybe these habits will actually stick. And so I'm excited. I'm definitely going to finish reading the next 2 pages of the introduction. And I might even go on ahead and read the first chapter today. Although I was really kind of getting into Dungeons and Drama just because it was so lighthearted. But this book, yes, I am definitely going to be reading this, taking notes, and I'm going to be starting to implement this in my life. One tiny change at a time. Okay, that sounded kind of cringy, but if you guys read this, you'll agree with me. So, okay, I'm gonna put my pin in the book so I know where I was at. And yes, you can tell I kind of flipped around laying on my bed. Ugh, okay, sorry about that. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed reading with me some today. I'm definitely going to read more before I have to get some sleep before I work tonight. So, thanks for being with me today, and my next video coming out will probably include other clips and updates on the 3 books I'm reading right now. I don't know if they'll come in the next day or the next 2 days, but I'll be recording over this week and then putting a video together hopefully this weekend so I can get you another video on Sunday. So thanks for coming with me for today. Bye guys. Hi everyone. Okay, quick reading update. I've only been able to finish 1 book, but let me tell you a little bit about it. So, I finished Dungeons and Drama, and it was so good. It was so lighthearted and fun, and I just really enjoyed it. I don't really want to give away too much because if you decide to read it, I don't want there to be too many spoilers. But so I finished reading last time. I think I only read through chapter 3 and I stopped at chapter 4. Well, when I made some of my clips the other day when I was talking about it, I ended up reading more before I got some sleep before work that day. And I think I read to like chapter like 17 or something like that. I ended up reading like, what is that, like 10, no, 15, something like that chapters. Like I read over half the book, and yeah, so I had like only like a little bit left. And I hadn't been able to read it the past day, but then I'm off work tonight. Got home this morning, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna finish Dungeons and Drama. So that's what I did, and it was so good, and it was so cute and lighthearted, and of course, like you think, since it's about high schoolers, like there's a little bit of drama, and okay, I'm stopped. Anyway, there was a little bit of drama, but it all worked out in the end. But I really liked it, and it was a really cute read, and I enjoyed the characters, their interactions. It was great, and it was just okay. Here I go for the 3rd time, but it was a fun read, and I really liked it. And honestly, if I had to give it like some kind of star rating, I think I would at least give it 4 stars. It's not necessarily a 5-star read because there's nothing like heavy about the book. It's except for this one instance. Won't give it away. But yeah, it was a great book, and it was fun, and it was a nice read. The writing was great, really easy to get through. I enjoyed it. Now, I haven't read anything else in Murder at Holly House or Tiny Habits, but I'm planning to read more in Murder at Holly House today. I don't know if I'll get to Tiny Habits or if I'll want to start one of my other books on my TBR, like start reading a few chapters. But since I am off tonight and I won't have to work again until tomorrow night, I'll definitely read at least the first chapter, but I don't know how far I'll get into it because I'm really looking forward to starting a next book on my list. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll be all for this little update. I might come back later in the day with a new one about Murder at Holly House, depending on how far I get, or I may just save it for another day this week. But I'll get back to you guys either today or another day this week and include my next clip in the video. I'm hoping my next video won't be too long for you guys because I'm not trying to bore you with all this random stuff I say. But I really want to tell you guys all this stuff. So I'll see you in my next clip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, who really knows. All right, bye guys. Hi guys. Okay, so it is Sunday, the day I will be uploading this video. I think the last time I recorded a clip for you guys, it was Wednesday. So I didn't get to read too much more, but I did read more. So you guys know I finished Dungeons and Drama, so that is off my list. Fun, great read. And then I just had, let's see, Murder at Holly House and Tiny Habits, which I had started reading. Haven't started reading any of my other books yet. I'm going to tell you guys the next book I'm going to be reading, which will be in the next video. But I have read more in Murder at Holly House. I think last time I left you guys in one of my clips, I had read up to chapter 6. And as of this morning, I have now read up to chapter 11. So I'm really liking it so far. It's getting good. They have found, well, I don't want to say too much, but I mean, it's in the description of the book. So they've found the body at this point, and the inspector is, questioning people and things like that. And honestly, this book is really cool because since it's also got like police record pages of stuff that's happened with it, and it's got like editor's notes and stuff, not a lot, but a little bit, it gives like the first-hand account of what was recorded, and I find that super interesting. But yeah, so far so great. I'll be starting chapter 11 whenever I pick it up next. That's page 106, so I've read this much. I've got this much to go. But yeah, I'm really excited to find out more what happens, because I feel like now that I'm at this point in the book, I'm really starting to get into like the meat of the story and like to find out what all the weirdness is. Because let me tell you, we've met, since I last read, we've met a few new characters, and they are weird, and they're saying these odd things, and I'm like, what is that? So yeah, I'm excited to read more in Murder at Holly House. Now, Tiny Habits. I have not read more. I was planning on reading chapter 1 after I finished the introduction, but I just haven't got to it, unfortunately. But along with reading more chapters in Murder at Holly House. I'm going to prioritize reading at least the first chapter, hopefully the second, this coming up week. Or I guess this week, since, yeah, it's Sunday. Although it is Christmas, and you guys don't know yet, but I am a big Stranger Things fan, and so I'm going to be busy with that. Might have to rewatch everything, even though I've already watched like the first, couple new episodes that have come out. Might have to rewatch those again before the new ones come out on Christmas Day. But from what I had read of the introduction in Tiny Habits, like I said before and earlier in the video, it was super interesting. It really made me think, and I actually started to implement it a little bit when I get up in the morning. Well, I guess when I get up at night to go work. And actually, I think it's made me a little bit more positive, but we'll see how it does in the long run. But I'm definitely keeping up with it so far, and I'm actually very proud of myself. So, yay for me. So, the other books that I really want to get to this month was The Only One Left by Riley Sager, The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst, A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana. Ooh, you know what? I feel like I really murdered that name, but I hope I didn't. And then Tourist Season by Bryn Weaver. So, honestly, I'm not really sure what I want to read next. At first, I was thinking I really want to read The Only One Left next, but it's hard for me to read too many books at one time. And so I was really thinking, you know what? The Only One Left, A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, and Tourist Season are all my newer books from this year that I want to finish, right? But I've had The Enchanted Greenhouse for at least 3 or 4 months. And I just really want to read it. I really want to, I don't want to say get it out of the way, because I think it's going to be a good book and I think I'm going to enjoy it. But I think I'm actually going to start with The Enchanted Greenhouse next, with along reading Tiny Habits and Murder at Holly House. I was thinking, I think I just said that I wanted to start next with The Only One Left. But I really do want to read this and see if it's as good as it sounds. And I know other people have read it that I've seen, and they've liked it. They've also liked the Spell Shop. I do need to buy the Spell Shop or see if it's on Kindle Unlimited, because I haven't checked. But yeah, I think I'm going to start reading The Enchanted Greenhouse next, along with my other two. Although, like I told you before, I'm a big Kindle Unlimited user, and I actually have been also reading books on Kindle Unlimited. I started this series, what's it called? Let's see. Hold on. It's coming up. It's called the Heartbridge Christmas series. It's a man-on-man series. And there's 6 books in the series. Actually, I came across it because the 6th book in the series was part of my recommendations you may like on Kindle Unlimited. And so I read the description and I was like, oh, this sounds really cute. And I know. Why would you start with the last book in a series? Start at the first book. But I was so captured by the storyline for the 6th book. And so I read the 6th book first. I did, before I read it, I went and I read the other descriptions for the other 5 books. But I just wanted to read the 6th book first. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry if that cringes you out. It cringed me out a little bit, and I was the one doing it. But I really enjoyed that 6th book. It was, hold on. It's called Merry and Bright, the Heartbridge Christmas series. So since then, let's see, I think I read that earlier this week, December 18th. I downloaded it and read it. I think I spent like 2 days reading it just because I wasn't in like a super rush, and I was reading, I was trying to read like a chapter a day in Murder at Holly House. And if I'm going between two different books, I kind of have to read one and then take a little bit of time and like switch gears and then read the other. It's not hard for me to switch between books, but I can kind of forget the last thing that's happened and like character names and stuff like that sometimes. So I try to give myself like a little time in between when I'm going between books. But yeah, so the 18th, today's the 21st, 2019, 18. Yeah, so Thursday and Friday, I read Merry and Bright. And then, yeah, between the last 3-4 days since I made my last videos, I've read the other 5 books. But actually, I only finished book 4, which is called Holiday Heartstrings, earlier this morning, before I read a little bit more in Murder at Holly House and then decided to make this video. So I still have Deck the Fire Halls, but I am like 5 chapters in. So that's the 5th book in the series and the last one that I will need to read to complete the series. But yeah, the whole series is just cute and fun, and they're really lighthearted, and I really like them, and they have some really good storylines in them. They're fun, simple, easy books to read and enjoy if you're like for a day. Like, I think they are like 250 to 300 pages each. Okay, so the one I'm reading right now, which is the 5th book, is 332 pages. So that's about average for all the books in the series, about 300 pages. But yeah, so I'm reading that now, along with Murder at Holly House. I'm going to read more in Tiny Habits, and then I probably won't start this just today because it is getting kind of late in the afternoon for me, and I want to go on ahead and get this video up so then I can get some sleep before work tonight. But I think I'll definitely want to start reading it tomorrow. And let's see, I'm working Monday night and Tuesday night, and then I'm actually off Christmas Eve night, and then I volunteered to work Christmas night, and then I'm off for the weekend. So I'm definitely going to get some reading done towards the end of this week. I do also have family visiting though, so even though I'm definitely going to be reading, I'm also going to be spending time with them. I mean, it is the holidays, and I put so many books on my Christmas list, so I'm super excited to see what books I get. And you know what? I think I'm going to have to do an extra video. I might do it on Christmas Day of all the books I get for Christmas, or I might do it the next day, but we'll see. So yeah, I think that's all I really want to talk about to upload for this video. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and if you want to know any more about the books that I am reading or that I have read or anything, just comment, let me know. You remember, I've already finished Dungeons and Drama, and I'm about 30-ish% of the way in at Murder at Holly House. So if you guys want to hear more and have more detailed talk about any of my books, just let me know. I don't mind doing a video for it. I can go through the book. I can tell you all my thoughts, but we'll see how you guys feel about it. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video, which will hopefully be next Sunday. So everybody have a Merry Christmas. Bye.